Welcome, residents, to the Dr. DC podcast. My name is producer Richard, and across from me is the Doctor himself.
Hello.
Each week we talk about the weird and wonderful world of DC while fielding questions from listeners like you. Are those headphones not working either?
No, they don't.
What the?
I can't hear anything in them. I don't even hear you, let alone me.
Well, let's try to...
Oh.
Do you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it all now.
Weird.
I can hear the whole spectrum.
Now I can hear Kung Fu.
I can hear Kung Fu. It's the lower res version of the Matrix.
I can hear all these abilities. What's that? Oh, it sounds like Kung Fu.
Sounds like Kung Fu. That's definitely, wait for it, Kung Fu.
Yeah. It's a really valuable skill set. 2 floors up.
There's Kung Fu happening.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Yes. This week, we've got no news because we recorded this at the same time as this episode's coming out, right?
We're recording it right now, totally live, not weeks in advance, because I am globetrotting and gallivanting.
You fucking Carmen Sandiego, son of a bitch.
Oh yeah, well, I stole the beans from Lima, so they're they're hot on my tail.
Wow. So this is our another Fanstravaganza number 5.
We get just such like a preponderance of questions.
Wow, good word.
That we can't always get to all of them. Sometimes for time, sometimes they're questions that just
always get to what we want.
That is true. Sometimes we get them and they're like, it doesn't fit with the episode themes we're doing or things like that. So thought this would be an ideal opportunity to dive back in, answer some questions out of the mailbag. Some of them are some fun ones. So I'm sort of sitting on them for a little bit.
That's why they're so warm.
That's why they're so fun.
All right. Well, why don't we jump in, I guess?
Let's do it.
All right. We're going over to Facebook.
Go to the face and the book. Go to the Facebook.
First question comes from William Innes. Is it Innes?
Yeah, Innes.
Yeah. If you were to cast Batman's rogue gallery with actors completely new to the roles, who would it be?
Right, so we can't reuse people that have been in other Batman movies.
So we just have to fresh cast for Batman.
Yeah, people that haven't been on a TV show in a Batman capacity or anything like that. So casting the Rogues.
Benjamin Brett.
What? He's on the brain. God, who would I cast for some of these? I think I've said it before. I still think John Hamm for Two-Face would be pretty solid because he's got such that classically handsome sort of look that'd be really good for Harvey Dent, like a square jawed guy that believes in justice. And then I don't know, I see him a lot. I think that's one that I would be super into.
I like that. Would you want the movie to have Two-Face? Would that be is that a character that you're drawn to?
Yeah, I mean, I think I guess I constantly contradict myself on this show. Sometimes I say, I really wish they made a Batman movie that is less realistic. We get some of the characters like Clayface, Mr. Freeze, things like that, that are maybe a little bit more fanciful, or Poison Ivy or whatever, as opposed to just, people with guns in the city. But the people with guns in the city thing is still a big part of Batman. So, and Two-Face is a pretty big villain. I think I would prefer to see Two-Face than another Joker, at least in the, relatively recent future. We get so much Joker. I think I'd like to see Two-Face at sort of the forefront of sort of Batman villains a little bit.
Ooh,
because he's only kind of been sidekicky as a villain. Batman Forever is really the Riddler show, and in The Dark Knight, the Two-Face is just sort of in the last 20 minutes, kind of because of the Joker. He hasn't really gotten a him movie, so I think I'd be into that.
I like that. I would love to see Jesse Plemons as Two-Face.
Who's Jesse Plemons?
Do you remember from Breaking Bad, the blonde guy who kills the kid?
Oh shit! Oh, he's creepy looking. He's a creepy looking guy. Interesting.
I think that like he would be super interesting to do something like that.
Yeah, I could see that. That'd be kind of neat. I think I'd want to see like get the Mountain, get Hafthor Bjornsson in as like Amygdala, or like one of those kind of characters that are like just sort of. I mean, I guess like the Mountain, just sort of strong and dumb.
Yeah.
That I think that would be kind of dope.
You know who would be rad as a like if you were going to do like a Red Hood story, to have like an older sort of Robin character, Frank Grillo, the guy who played Crossbones.
Yeah, but as Red Hood.
Yeah.
I mean that would certainly be older. Yeah.
I feel like you could get this sort of like aggression, like sort of.
Right. Yeah, okay.
It'd have to be a much older sort of Batman, but I feel like that would be a really interesting.
Yeah, totally. I'm trying to think. What would be? Do you know what? If I don't know if he could do it. I don't know if he's got the range for it. But who's the? Not the tiny redhead, but who's the other gay guy on Modern Family?
Oh.
I'd kind of be interested in maybe him as like Professor Pig.
Oh,
just kidnapping people and doing plastic surgeries on them to like make them perfect, and just sort of
who would
singing
actually be
opera and stuff like that. Like
who'd be really good in that character actually is Oliver Platt.
Oh yeah, yes, absolutely. I totally agree with that. Yeah,
I think a good Riddler could be Scoot McNairy.
He was the guy that played "quote unquote" Jimmy Olsen in Batman v Superman, right? Oh no, sorry, he was the guy that like lost his legs.
Yeah, no.
Batman v Superman.
Scoop,
that like spray paints the
Scoop
Superman.
McNairy. Yeah, it's like Halt and Catch Fire guy.
Yeah. I mean the Riddler ones. There's been so many sort of fan casty things, like even David Tennant and stuff that I think would be good. But yeah, I like maybe something a little more.
That guy who plays Gus on. What's his name on? Gus Fring.
Oh, Giancarlo Esposito
could be an Alfred.
Oh shit! Very fitting that you're throwing him in the Rogues. Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to. I'm trying to go now. Who would be a Batman we'd never?
Oh, like an actual Batman?
Yeah.
Oh God. I mean, so many people could do it.
I want somebody who really hasn't done it. Like, I want to go in a completely different direction because I feel like we've gotten so much of the same.
We're getting young Batman in this upcoming movie. I know this is maybe too like Hollywoody of me, but like I'd be kind of into like an Emma Stone Poison Ivy to go with Robert Pattinson's Batman.
Oh yeah, I just like, my concern would be you start getting too like flashy Hollywood looks.
Yeah, and I mean I know I generally try to fight that, but I do think she'd pull it off. She'd be interesting because I think she could also play like the Dr. Pamela Isley bit really well. You know
who'd make an interesting Joker is Walton Goggins.
Who's that?
He's been in a bunch of stuff, but he like, did you ever watch like Sons of Anarchy?
No, not enough to recognize anyone from it.
Because he played like a cross-dressing.
Sorry, what's his name? Walton Goggins?
Yeah. I think you'd recognize his face for sure. He's been in a ton of stuff. I'd love something like that for him.
Sorry, him. He's in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah.
And yeah. I'm gonna throw a real weird one out there.
Do it.
As let's say a Riddler.
Okay.
Jason Mantzoukas.
Oh.
Just someone that can play maybe kind of unhinged.
Yeah.
Not full unhinged like Adrian Pimento, right? But like someone that could just play like beyond sanity, right?
Yeah.
Very capable, but beyond sanity. I think I'd be into that, I think.
I've a random Batman pitch. Timothy Oliphant.
Oh, for Batman?
Yeah.
I mean, yes. Hell yes.
Right?
Of course. Yeah, definitely.
I'd be.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yes. Yeah, I mean, we went through a decent number there. I said it before, I saw the fan art that someone made, and I really dig it. I would be into Patrick Stewart as Mr. Freeze. He's maybe a little old for it now, but like,
oh yeah,
I think he certainly has like the range to make that like a real powerful character.
Or Victor Garber.
For Freeze? Yeah. You don't even have to change one of his names.
Oh,
so you save some money.
You just keep calling him Victor, and you wouldn't get all these confused looks from actors you get when they don't recognize their names.
Yeah, exactly.
so many takes of that. I don't know why they don't cut those out, but when
I say hello, Mr. Thompson, and pull your tie and step on your foot, you say hello.
I like that. Oh, and a Harley Quinn would be interesting is Jayma Mays.
Jayma Mays?
Yes.
Would I know her from anything?
She was in the she's been in a bunch of stuff like she was in the Paul Blart movies.
Oh God.
She's in Glee.
Oh, okay,
she plays she's the redhead in Glee, the really quiet like guidance counselor.
Do you know that Sophia Boutella? She was like the Blade Legs in Kingsman. And she was in Star Trek Beyond.
Yeah.
Maybe her as Talia.
Ooh, I like that.
Something like that. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. I'd have to think about it, like, maybe a lot more. But yeah, I mean, just top of our heads, those are some of the ones that come to mind.
For sure. All right, you want to go to the next one?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
All right, next question. We've only just stand up to live.
I love it.
Yeah. I really feel like I've landed on one I like.
I think it's a solid one.
Yeah.
You should be proud of it.
I am. Who asks, can you break down the 3 different legions from the Legion of Three Worlds?
Right.
And how the multiverse played a part in that story. Spoiler alert, was Superboy Prime on our Earth at the end.
Right. So the Legion of Three Worlds is a story that sort of started in like some of the Legion books, but basically culminated during Final Crisis. Mm-hmm. And in it, the Time Trapper is trying to erase Superman from existence, and the Legion has to stop him. And to do that, it's 3 different alternate versions of the Legion of Superheroes team up. There's the version that was post 0 Hour, so from the early 90s. I think that's the version where they got stupid names, like instead of being Lightning Lad, he was Livewire.
Of course.
And stuff like that. There's the version from around like the mid 2000s. And then there's a version like the current version at the time. Were the 3 legions. And they team up to defeat the Time Trapper, who's revealed to be a Superboy Prime from the future, but ends up fighting the past Superboy Prime. Like, I mean, very convoluted, retconny stuff. But essentially, like, what that story was doing was taking, like, different retconned out versions of the Legion of Superheroes, of which there are several. Yeah. And teaming them up, and they were going to be like, this is our opportunity now to determine what the actual thing is. So the multiverse played in because it was during Final Crisis, right? Like the worlds of the multiverse were all sort of opened up and under attack and things like that. Superman is brought to the future by the Legion, and that's a thing. Like, if you're reading the main Final Crisis story, there's a bit where Brainiac 5 shows him the Miracle Machine. Yeah, of course he then builds. He has to, like, you know, he gets his whistles the happy ending sort of thing that we've talked about before. But the Legion of Three Worlds story is, it's about those ones. And ultimately at the end, when they defeat, they don't defeat Superboy Prime. Superboy Prime is in the 31st century and is leading the Legion of Supervillains. And then the Time Trapper from the end of time is revealed to be Superboy Prime. And when they face each other, they punch each other and, like, blink out of existence. But then the book,
as you do.
But then the book ends with Superboy Prime back on his, like, Earth, like Prime Earth, which was meant to be like the real world originally. Yeah. And he's reading Legion of Three Worlds. And he's like, you can't you can't keep me out, forever. Like, I'll always come back kind of thing. It's very meta, of course. Morrison.
Yeah.
But to answer the question, Superboy Prime, yes, originally was meant to come from the Prime universe, which was meant to be the real world, which now would be Earth 33 in the multiverse. Superboy Prime, though, in the sort of current version of how the multiverse works, couldn't be, because Earth 33 is literally our world, not just a world without superheroes that has comic books. So his world would be a different one now anyway, because our world is like literally in the multiverse now. The only superhero we have now is Ultra Comics, an actual comic book that you can read. So the way that it was during Final Crisis, the implication is that Superboy Prime is back on our world, that he's depowered, that he's sort of been written out of the story again. And in that story, he ends, I think he goes on message boards to talk about how shitty the stupid event is and stuff like that. Like,
that's really
Superboy
funny.
Prime is literally a metaphor for like people that take too much ownership of the stories and characters of like comic books. Because that's sort of his whole sort of motivation, is he believes he should be Superboy and that he would do a good job of it, that he knows what the right thing to do with the character is, basically. That's the implication at the end of Legion of Three Worlds. But if we were taking the multiverse as it is today, I don't think that's where Superboy Prime would be. He wouldn't be on our Earth, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, next question comes from the most interesting resident.
All right.
Who is it?
Roland Sebas.
That's right, Roland Sebas.
Roland.
Who asks, how would you showcase the oppressive architecture of Arkham in a film solely focused on it and the inmates?
Oh, interesting.
So we've just recently found out that the Batman movie that they were going to make with Ben Affleck and he was going to direct was going to be an Arkham movie.
Yeah, it was basically going to be Batman stuck in the asylum.
Which that would have been such a good goddamn movie.
It would have been crazy.
Oh my god, that would have been so good with fucking Ben Affleck directing that. And God, that would have been good.
It would have. But I guess we recently watched a movie with, I would say, poor cinematography.
Jesus.
So subscribe to the Patreon.
Yeah.
What would you say would be like? What would you look for in terms of like the style of a film to really like highlight Arkham Asylum?
Well, I really like what Shutter Island was capable of, was able to do.
Yeah.
I liked the sort of like the depths that the facility would go to, the sort of never-ending hallways, the sort of echoey chambers, that kind of vibe. Those really, I like how everything kind of felt a little wet.
Maybe feels partially abandoned.
Yeah.
Or like it can't be well maintained because not too many people know about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That sort of vibe. I think like having it on sort of on like an island and like having like the sort of like the storm around it, all of those things really helped sort of capture the sort of like how like it's alone and like unmanned and unwatched. And
I think you could take a page out of the video games book too, and it's just like, if you were to do a movie in Arkham, then basically instead of it being this big open city, you can literally direct like the action the way you do in a video game, right?
Yeah.
Small spaces, it's vents, it's tight hallways, all the doors are locked. You have to go this way. You got, you know what I mean? Like you can play, it's almost like the funhouse thing that you get in horror movies where it's like, I have to keep on this path, even though it is obviously a trap and obviously like leading to bad things.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good way of building some suspense in that too, is that like low ceilings, tight corridors.
It needs to be
lots of corners and turning and shadows, weird shadows cast on the walls and things like that.
It needs to be a horror movie. It needs to be made like a thriller sort of.
Yeah. I think you're right. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. It's got to be like going through a haunted house almost.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we answered that.
Yeah.
All right.
God, we're good. We should make a film. DC!
You know you're listening. All right, well, we're leaving Facebook now. We're heading on over to Twitter.
Twitter.
Ooh, solid.
You're welcome.
Good job.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Oh, you're going to like this question.
Okay.
From our favorite spacey, sexy texter.
Cosmic DM.
That's right. Who asks, would Booster ever make a porn to become famous?
I mean, I early career Booster, definitely. Once he learns the value of heroism,
Yes.
probably not. But that like early version where he's going back and trying to cash in, he's got sponsorship deals and stuff like that. Like, yeah,
that 100% would be what he would do.
Now to flip the question a little bit, if you were trying to guess, what do you think like the tags? What do you think the search terms would be for the porn that Booster Gold made?
What do you mean the type of?
Yeah, like what type of porn is Booster Gold doing?
I mean, I feel like there's POV for sure.
POV, but you are Booster, or POV you're being fucked by Booster Gold?
You're being fucked by Booster Gold.
That's the dream. Of course.
Yeah, exactly.
And you just get the branding right in your face the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I think there'd be that.
Sure, POV, Booster Gold porn.
No, he's not a bondage guy.
No, I would think not, but maybe I could see him also be like a public.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
yeah, more opportunities to be seen.
Because he'd be like in a park or like just hovering, like flying like over a freeway or something like that.
That being said, I don't think it's like homemade. Like I feel like there's a lot of production value.
Oh yeah. I don't think he's not shooting this on a cell phone or something.
No. This is definitely like
very polished. I think
this is the Pirates version of
and like there's craft services and a fluffer and like a dressing room and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's definitely.
Let's see. I would like to imagine that because he's from the future, maybe everyone's just a bit more open. I think you'd see him with guys and girls.
Oh yeah.
I think Booster doesn't care.
Do you think this is like a parody of like a super like hero movie?
Interesting. I think what it might be is instead of parody like a superhero movie, he's maybe he would take like well-known events
from his own actual things,
or from either from his own things or from actual history. Be like they would like do a porn parody of like the real life event, the death of Superman, but Superman wouldn't die, but then like Booster would just like fuck a reporter or something like that. Like
Superman.
So you'd be like Superman, like hold my gloves, and then like.
Okay, that's really good.
Did I just also assume then that he's making like Superman cuck porn?
Well, yeah. Well, that seems like the type of guy he is.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that got weird and aggressive at the end. But yes, short answer: Booster definitely would make a porn. That early career Booster,
100%. Sure. Yeah, without a doubt.
What a fucking question! I love that.
It's also with that same guy that Kim did it with.
Oh, Ray J?
Yeah, it's also.
I don't know.
Wow, you answered that real quick.
God damn it!
I guess it's better than Tommy Lee.
Yeah.
All right, next question comes from Jeff Whaley, who asks. There it is.
That's Jeff Whaley. That's a Whaley version. That
is. Who asks, did the doc ever read the 2003 Dial H reboot that was an anthology series of normal people getting the dial and telling different types of stories with each arc?
Yeah, that series.
Cool, moving on.
There's no time. That series was called Hero, like H.E.R.O. And yeah, it was broken into like maybe 3 or 4 issue kind of arcs, but each one just a random citizen got the dial. But what was weird about this series is that it wasn't like a super positive adventure. Like I think it's the first guy, he gets the power, he sort of abuses it, it doesn't go well, and then he tries to kill himself. But he's stopped, like Superman saves him, but he like wants to die. Like he tries to use the H-dial to kill himself.
Yeesh.
And then the next person, like it breaks up his family, and then like his daughter gets it. a caveman like 50,000 years ago gets it, and I think does kill himself on the moon or some shit like that.
What?
And then the back half of that was the first, like, let's say half the series. The back half of the series, they brought back the original character that had the H-dial, Robbie Reed. And the whole point of that series is he was trying to, like, stop a serial killer from using the H-dial, and he got some of the other random people that had used it to team up with him, and some of them died in the process. And he eventually, I think, like, absorbs the power or something like that. Like, it's a weird, like, not happy Dial H series.
It's just, like, known as this, like, silly thing with weird abilities. Like,
yeah, and this series was not silly. It's weird, yeah. But yes, I have read it. I mean, it's interesting. It's not bad, but it's not what you expect, especially if you're reading, like, the current one.
yeah.
Like, the current one is, like, all that Silver Age kind of fun and very colorful and bright. That 2003 one is not. Even the 2012 one by China Mieville is, like, it's sort of dark-ish, but the characters are silly still. Like, but that HERO, that series is a weird one. I think we might have gotten a question in the past too about whether or not if it was collected, and I think there's a trade of maybe the first part of the series.
Oh, weird.
Maybe just a couple of the arcs of the random people, but I don't think that story with Robbie Reed is collected in a trade anywhere.
Oh, bummer. Would you like to see a movie with Dial H or a TV show?
Definitely a TV show. I think it's better suited to that because it's totally episodic, right?
Would you have it be like with like a through line though?
Yeah, I think you have some sort of through line. It doesn't necessarily have to involve Robbie, which a lot of them circle back to. Even the current one has done that. But yeah, I think you'd have something like that. I think it'd be cool on DC Universe, you know. You could have like cameos from some of the other characters, Doom Patrol, Titans, blah, blah, blah. But it's just this person that has this thing that is way too powerful to just be held by a random person. Right? Like, yeah, I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be rad. I think it'll come one day. I think like it's too cool of a concept.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, it should show up in Doom Patrol. Right? Like,
Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol's the right show for it if you're not giving it its own thing.
Yeah, fuck, that would be so rad.
At the very least, it should show up there.
God, that would be such a good place for
that. It'd be really cool.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next question.
Sure.
This question comes from Stump Chunkman.
Step into the stump.
Stump Chunkman! Who asks, if you could Freaky Friday a character from the DC universe, doesn't matter which Earth/universe, who would it be? So I think it's really two characters.
Yeah, it's not Freaky Fridaying with us.
Yeah.
We're going to Freaky Friday two random characters.
Because I don't want anybody to have to go through my life.
I would never do that to someone else.
That's not... That's sick.
What are the characters that you would want to Freaky Friday?
So you got to do
Freaky Friday. Just as a recap,
yeah.
You're fully body switching. You're not just swapping powers. Mm-hmm. You're fully body swapping, like mind swapping.
I think that's important detail. Yeah. It'd be interesting to do it with the Flash and Gorilla Grodd.
Okay, sure.
I just think it'd be really interesting to like. The Flash really get that intelligence, but have to deal with that size and that speed, and then
he'd be super clumsy.
Yeah. To have the gorilla have all of the speed, but not the intelligence it's used to.
Yeah, and you'd be in like the puny, weak body.
Would be really funny to also see.
Yeah, that's fair. That would be funny. I can't. What's the circumstance where they get Freaky Friday? They both try to plug in a toaster at the same time.
You just don't understand what it's like to be like this.
Jesus. Oh, geez. What characters would I Freaky Friday? I think I'm going to throw Batman in there, but he's got to get Freaky Friday'd with someone who...
The Joker? Oh my God.
No, I was actually going to say someone like very... meek or small or young or something like that, like a child.
Oh, yeah.
He has to get Freaky Friday to a position where he has zero control anymore. Like, preferably like an actual child that needs to be picked up and like fed. And things like that.
I like it.
So he has zero control over his life, and then there's like a kid out there with like cool martial arts ability. Just
that
be like,
would be.
I love being Batman.
I also like the idea that it's a kid having to be Batman who doesn't have martial arts ability.
Oh, sure, yeah.
But Batman's like a little kid who suddenly like is like this like kid who's getting like I like the idea that it's like like at the beginning of it, it's a kid like getting bullied at school,
right?
And then for whatever reason, like Batman has like in his like as an apartment or something.
Some random kid in Gotham or something.
Yeah,
right? He goes to save him the one night, and that's when the Freaky Friday happens. But then they're totally swapped. He has to get but he has to be like small. He saved like a 5-year-old.
Yeah. So when he like goes back to school and he like whoops the ass.
He can't even reach things. Doesn't have the strength to like kick a door down. And he's still got to like find his way back to.
So when he could use his
the
like
Batcave,
tactical abilities.
Yeah, exactly. But it would also just be funny for all the visual gags of
so
like,
many.
do you have to go potty? Like,
just like, don't worry about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't worry about it.
I think that would be very funny.
Who are you? Hi, Tommy. I'm not Tommy. I'm Batman.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think I'm saying Batman and a random child of Gotham. Not like really, another main superhero.
That would be so funny. I really like that. Right? That would be really, really funny.
Yeah, I'd be into that.
Mm-hmm. I also like the idea that Alfred and Batman switch.
Sure.
To be like, you have to stay back. Like,
yeah,
you're a frail old man.
It'd be funny if Alfred immediately,
because he's got all the training, right?
But if Alfred immediately like turned on him and was like, I believe I asked for a sandwich. Like he's just like, I'm Batman now. You're the one who has to go to the kitchen.
Yeah,
the bread's on the top shelf. I really shouldn't have to tell you this. You're the butler, but.
Could you imagine?
He's got immediately turns on Bruce.
He's got a lot of tactical training. It's not like he couldn't be Batman.
Yeah, there's lots of versions of Alfred with military experience and things like that. So then give him a body in its prime.
That would be so funny. Or Batman and Superman having to
having to stay back while other people go fight. You know, be like I'll sweep. Like, go fight the Joker. Like. Yeah, again, it's that thing about putting Batman in a very uncomfortable position for his personality.
Yeah, I always like that. Yeah. That's why that fucking TMNT movie was so good.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
God. All right. Well, with that, the Dr. DC podcast will be back after this quick break.
Faster than a speeding bullet.
Hey there, residents. This episode of the Dr. DC podcast is brought to you thanks to our amazing sponsors, Great Lakes Grooming Co. They sent us some awesome products to try, so let's check them out. We have the pine tar soap. This is amazing. We use it all the time at my house. It's a really wonderful sort of peppermint smell to it. It's a traditional recipe that they've developed themselves, and it's awesome. It's a great way to get clean and smell good every day. As well, I love the peppermint lip balm, especially this time of the year, living where we do, constantly getting sort of dry lips, and it's a huge pain. So definitely want to use that. Great Lakes Grooming is meant to be easy to use, rain or shine. All their products are purposely designed and environmentally responsible, handmade here in Canada, really ready for adventure wherever one may find themselves. For you lucky listeners, we also have an opportunity where you can get 10% off on Great Lakes Grooming regular priced products by going to www.greatlakesgrooming.com and using the promo code DRDCPodcast. That's right, www.greatlakesgrooming.com. Promo code is DRDCPodcast. Back to the show.
A speeding bullet.
And we're back.
Hey!
Oh, don't stop dabbing. Stop dabbing. Oh God, can you actually do it?
No, I can't floss. You couldn't tell from me just flailing my arms.
I don't know. You look cool to me. I don't know.
God, we got our finger on the pulse here.
Oh my God. All right. We're leaving Twitter. And we're heading on over to Instagram.
Now we're going to Instagram. Take some questions and answer them.
I always forget to use the shakers.
Oh, wait.
No, you stop doing it. You can't do it after. It just... Yeah, we got it, dude. Yeah. Okay, all right. Get you a rain stick. Now we're going to Instagram.
Just a long, slow drop of a rain stick.
Take some questions and answer them.
That's a pretty good, approximation of a rain stick, actually.
I've spent a lot of my mom had one at one point.
I thought you were going to say I spent a lot of my time mastering the impression of a rain stick.
Just sitting here going like, shush, fuck no, god damn it.
That should be your dial age. You can mimic any musical instrument.
Well, now I have to come up with a new one.
Fine, the good idea was taken. I guess I'm penis man.
Kumquat.
We already did cum man.
All right. First question.
Cum man. Where he yells, "I'm coming," and then
I'm gonna
and then
come.
a bucket full of cum falls from the sky to transform him into cum man.
The peak of creativity, really. Here, that's what you get. First question comes from, hey, Robbie's just this guy.
Yeah,
Robbie puts on his leg warming things just like everybody else.
Yeah, Robbie couldn't have done it because at 5 o'clock he was across town with a friend.
Robbie's just like every other human person where he eats spaghetti on a plate.
Robbie's having a friend for dinner, a Chianti and some fava beans.
I like that we're going through two very different concepts here.
Yeah.
Mine's an alien who's pretending to be a person.
And mine's a serial killer.
Yeah, that's
who's trying to get away with it.
Yes. I like it. Robbie asks, who has the cooler costume? Captain Marvel or Black Adam? I think he means Shazam. I've gone back and forth on this over the years. Half capes are kind of cool, but decidedly not metal. I'm thinking of dressing up as Black Adam for Halloween. Ooh, hopefully this is seems like an old episode. This is an old question.
This should still come out before Halloween.
Technically, it's always before Halloween unless it's on Halloween.
It comes out the week after Halloween. It's like, it's before Halloween.
Yeah, technically. If I do, should I have pointy ears? I've been upping my weightlifting game and would like to get the look right.
Yeah, he's been upping his weightlifting game because he keeps dumping all those rugs in the river. Call it a deadlift for a reason.
Oh, nice. That's nice, yeah.
There's a couple of different things here. Because the Captain Marvel costume is a bit different from the Shazam costume, right? Like, the Shazam cape is a little bit longer, and it's got the hood.
Oh, okay.
And in the New 52, Black Adam also has a cape and a hood. So they have very much more matchy costumes. Before the New 52, Black Adam was just like the suit, no cape, but a black version with the gold lightning bolt and the sash and stuff like that. And Captain Marvel, at the time, what was his name? Red suit with the gold sort of piping, the white half cape that sort of goes over like one shoulder, too. Yeah. So, what's the cooler look? We basically got 4 looks there. Is it pre or post Flashpoint? And is it Black Adam or Captain Marvel slash Shazam?
I think post Flashpoint Black Adam.
Yeah. I dig it with the cape, actually.
Yeah.
I disagree. Capes are pretty metal. Maybe you haven't heard of someone called Dracula? That's me doing my cool weird preacher. Count Dracula was pretty cool, but seriously, guys, follow God.
There's this cool cat you may have heard named Jesus Christ.
Yeah, exactly.
His robes were kind of like a cape.
Do you know who did eat fish sandwiches? Jesus. I realize now how much that sounded like innuendo.
Yeah, I was like, I'm sorry, it's opposed to who?
His preacher.
I know you guys been watching a lot of porn lately. You know who else ate some fish sandwiches?
His preacher's trying to convince people to eat pussy. Just like, Jesus like fish sandwiches too.
I'm sorry.
Or even funnier, this is the preacher's wife at home with the preacher. Be like, you know who else?
Oh yeah, just maybe turn some of this water to wine and I'll see if I can stomach it.
Jesus. Wow. Impressive. I think I agree. I mean, Black Adam, black is a very sleek color, right? Like,
hell yeah.
The black, the gold, but it's definitely that like post-Flashpoint version with the hooded cape is a really, really, really cool look. I think you should go for the pointy ears too. You know, like that's kind of like an iconic piece of Black Adam's design.
Yeah.
I don't see why you wouldn't do that. You know, like the pointy ears are like an easy costume piece to come by because people go as elves and Vulcans and all sorts of things, right? So I would, I would definitely go for that. I'm curious to know, like, how much do you have to up your weightlifting game to be like, I'm ready to play one of the most powerful characters in comic books? Like, are you like on a 1 to Josh Gill scale? How ripped are we talking?
That's true. That's true. Though Josh isn't really bulky as much as he is just like sexily cut. Like it's like it's like a really well designed cover where it's just all about the curves and the angles.
I'm uncomfortable for him. Yeah, I think we're both saying go for Black Adam. That's a cool costume.
Hell yeah!
If you've been working out and you got the physique for it, definitely go for it. But throw a cape on there. And it's metal as hell.
And if this question came in before last Halloween, send us a photo of what you did. Unless you've been waiting for this response and still haven't done it.
No, I think this came from like February.
Okay, all right.
So we're okay. We haven't totally missed Halloween.
Just making sure. Yeah. Just making sure. I don't know how far back these go.
I mean, it was from a very long time ago.
Yes.
It'd be funny if he's like, they didn't respond. I'm going to stop working out. He gets this in September. He's like, shit.
Oh, no. Chicken breast, muscle.
Just chugging raw eggs.
Oh. It's confusing him chugging raw chicken, eating cooked eggs.
Instead of live chicken with feathers.
I said my name's Matt.
Oh, chicken.
Yeah, that's
buck. But yeah, go for Black Adam. Go for post-Flashpoint Black Adam. And if you actually do it, send us a picture. I want to see it. I bet it looked dope.
You can shirt on or off, whatever.
I mean, come on, man.
I mean, speaking of,
Josh is probably listening. What is he going to think?
Well, he definitely is.
Do you guys not have like an exclusive thing? Or?
Well, I know. It's just we can invite more in. It's like a Sister Wives scenario.
Oh, yeah. I saw that Craigslist ad. Like, looking for a third to listen to my podcast and post thirst traps to Instagram.
Yeah, exactly. Well, speaking of, next question comes from Josh Gill.
Gill.
Oh, sexy.
Sexy
Gill. Stupid sexy Gill.
Nothing at all.
Like nothing at all. Josh asks, is there another character in the DCU that is both universally disliked and at the same time respected by the hero community as John Constantine?
Yeah. I mean, I know where that question is going because he is a very useful, powerful, valuable, ultimately good hero. I don't even know, though, that I would say he's respected by the hero community. I don't think they respect him at all. I think they just recognize he's generally good and very useful. I don't know that Batman respects Constantine. You know what I mean? Like, they're almost two separate things, right? Because like there's lots of characters are shown a lack of respect. I would say a character like Plastic Man is generally underestimated and not shown the respect he deserves. You know, I would say that like the sidekicks, the Titans, the stuff like that, they are often disrespected, even though they are known to be capable and things like, there was a whole relatively recent thing where the Justice League was like, you can't keep your own people in line. We're shutting you down. It's like the Justice League doesn't have authority to shut down the Titans, but the Titans were like, all right,
you're the boss.
Like they're not respected in a way, not like they get spat on or anything like that, but like it is a form of disrespect. That's sort of one piece of it. The reviled, like a hero that's reviled, Constantine probably has the crown.
Yeah,
like just the number of people that hate John Constantine because he's fucked them over, or they slept with them and never called, or he's like doomed a family member, or any of those other things. I mean, I don't know that there's a hero as disliked as that. If I were to put someone in like the runner-up position, it could be Green Arrow. Oliver Queen, specifically post Flashpoint, Oliver Queen he had cheated on so many people. He had like slept around on Black Canary. Like, why do you do that? He hated Superman. Like, they didn't get along. Like, he couldn't get along with Superman. He chose to die rather than let Superman save him. I think Oliver, at his funeral, people struggled to say kind things about him. Mm-hmm. So if I had to pick like a sort of runner-up to Constantine, it might even be Oliver Queen, in terms of just people having animosity and maybe a lack of respect and things like that. I think I'd say that. Can you think of anyone else? I think that's the best I got.
No, not really. Not that like kind of lines up with all of them.
No one does it quite like Constantine, to be honest, but I think Oliver Queen from that era is pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Next question comes from DJ Mal Brooks.
Wiki. The Inquisition.
Wiki.
The Inquisition. Wiki.
Young Frankenstein.
Haha. Was that the horse getting punched in Blazing Saddles?
Yes.
Yeah, nice.
DJ Mal Brooks asks, if you could replace Siri with DC genius,
ooh,
who would you choose and why?
Right. Who would you want as like the, not just say voice, but let's say also personality of your Siri? So we're taking Siri out. You get a different sort of AI. Like phone assistant, but it has to be one of the geniuses of DC. Who do you get?
Ooh, yeah, it would be somebody that I like would want to hear their voice too, right?
The dulcet tones of Clancy Brown voicing Lex Luthor. I think I would take Brainiac because generally he wouldn't sass me. He's just a computer, right? Like, he'll just tell me I'm wrong, which is why I'm asking for help anyway. Why I'm asking Siri.
Mm-hmm.
I think Brainiac would be relatively precise. And worst case scenario, Brainiac needs like a biological host, and then I sort of achieve some sort of transcendent immortality.
Well, there you go then, right?
I think I'd go Brainiac. Also, Brainiac would probably just upgrade my... Like, it wouldn't be like, oh, we tried to upgrade last night, but your phone wasn't plugged in. We'll try again tonight. Like, Brainiac would just be like, just do it. He would, like, override the things. He would just make stuff happen, you know? I feel like I could count on Brainiac for that.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Part of me is thinking, like, Detective Chimp.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Detective Chimp is salty. I mean, that would be a very funny kind of series.
I think, yeah.
It would be the opposite of why I picked Brainiac. You'd get a lot of sass with Detective Chimp.
I feel like every time that I tried to, like, set a coordinate on the map, it would just keep setting it to, like, the liquor store.
You try and get, like, directions somewhere, and it just keeps, like, recalculating.
Yeah.
You end up at the off sales in the liquor store, at the bar or something, yeah.
I'm like, God damn it, I was just trying to get to the office.
Yeah. I was trying to get to my office that I needed the directions for.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's true. Every road trip, you'd be pulling over at every rest stop to see if they had wine.
Yeah. Or bananas.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
Detective Chimp as a Siri. Yeah.
Batman would be funny.
Yeah, I mean, Batman would just... I think,
turn.
I'm looking for 403 Martha Street. Why did you say that name? Directions to Martha's Vineyard. Why?
What's the weather? It's dark.
I'm in a cave.
It's wet, dark, and damp. It sounds like a cave. Yes.
Activate thruster. No.
Constantly trying to like
Your cars keep like put like caltrops at the back and like oil slicks and stuff. Just car accidents behind you. It's like activating defensive measures.
How do you make banana bread? Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Did you mean to ask why my parents are dead?
Every time. Can you play Paul Simon? No, god damn it.
It just only plays Cats in the Cradle.
That's really funny. Oh, my phone's crying.
You just hear it crying constantly. I like that too.
In the middle of the night, your phone keeps disappearing.
You look outside, lightning cracks, you see your phone on top of a telephone pole.
It's really stupid. That being said, I do always...
You see it sitting like in the dark the one night and a smaller phone crashes through the window and it goes, I shall become a phone.
Any more?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. That being said, I also like to set my phone to the British male voice so it feels like I have a butler.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you could get Alfred. Yeah,
I do. That's already what I have my phone set to.
Time to wake up, Master Wayne.
Yeah. I think you should go down this alley.
Recalculating through the alley.
There it is.
Back to the detective chip problem.
There it is. Oh my god, that's good.
Fuck, that's funny. I like that.
All right, let's leave Instagram and head on over to email.
Check the email.
I hope it's from a female.
Nice.
Oh no, it's not from a female.
It's audible again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Question. Wow, haven't heard from this person in a while. Chad Bogelman.
Bogle.
Who asks, what is your top 3 favorite Green Lantern runs or story arcs? I say top 3 so we can talk some Jeff Johns, but not be tied down in that era.
Well, that's fair. I mean, it's tough to. I mean, I will say right now, you can't avoid Jeff Johns. Like if you're like his stuff on Green Lantern is seminal. It's like the foundation on which modern Green Lantern is based.
Wow.
Like the emotional spectrum, all that stuff, right? Also, just his sort of characterization of hell. So, I mean, in a very sort of broad sense, you know, from Green Lantern Rebirth through Sinestro Corps War through like like Blackest Night through the New 52, that as a large thing is really cool and interesting. But I mean, I'll condense that to just say basically like Sinestro Corps War to Blackest Night is really like, that's really tight, like scripted, really mythologically deep, interesting stuff. Yeah, and I mean, it's some of Jeff Johns' best work. I would say, well, my other one, let's keep it specifically Green Lantern. I really like Emerald Twilight. Just that sort of 3 issues that basically go from the destruction of Coast City to Hal becoming Parallax and destroying the core. It's really well written, you know. It's only 3 issues. Like an arc like that now would be like, they'd give it like 12 issues at least, right? To see a hero sort of fall like that. But they basically just go like, we know Coast City's destroyed. We got 3 issues. Let's spiral him into a sort of madness of grief kind of thing. I think there's some really, really great artwork in those 3 issues. It's Green Lantern number 48, 49, and 50.
Mm-hmm.
There's some really powerful character stuff. You know, he tries to recreate Coast City, like with his ring. And like, he is making this construct, and he like talks to a construct of his father, and his father tells him how he failed. So like, that's in him, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's making a construct to tell himself that he failed. Like, that's some powerful stuff, you know? And it's probably maybe the most emotionally weighty stuff that came out of Death of Superman. Like, and like Reign of the Supermen is that. It's not really the Death of Superman. It's like all the knock-on effects, right? And that's a big one. Not only did Superman die, but it directly led to the fall of another one of the greatest heroes, Green Lantern, which is pretty crazy, powerful stuff. My third favorite is sort of cheating a little bit. I mean, first of all, Bokelman might get mad at me that I'm not really throwing in any sort of Silver Agey kind of stuff. I'm going to give an honorable mention, 4th place sort of thing, to the Green Lantern, Green Arrow series, the sort of hard traveling heroes where they're tackling social issues and things like that. Incredible series, like politically brilliant.
Oh, you're talking about Catwoman?
Subscribe to the Patreon. A really like touching, like down to earth sort of series that gets honorable mention. I mean, I probably should put it higher, but there's things I like about these other ones more. But my number 3 is actually going to be it's Hal as the Spectre. I like that Spectre series from the 90s where it's Hal Jordan after he as Parallax sacrifices himself to reignite the sun in Final Night. His soul is basically chosen as the new host for the Spectre. And that whole series is interesting because you're seeing a Hal sort of free of the Parallax thing. He is like good again, but like has done recently terrible things.
Yeah.
And the Spectre's whole mission is vengeance, but because he has all this guilt and stuff, and he himself has done horrible things, the whole series is about him trying to change the Spectre's mission to one of redemption. We did a reading assignment like forever ago with an issue of this where he tries to redeem Two-Face. He's trying to rehabilitate and like make Harvey Dent whole again. He ultimately can't in that issue, but I love the idea that he's trying to take this thing that's basically like part of the spirit of God. Yeah. And he's like, no, I don't like your mission. We should do this. And he's like trying to bend this. Again, it's that indomitable will thing of Hal Jordan, right? It's like, I'm going to bend God to what I think we should be doing. It could only be Hal Jordan to do a story like that. And I think there's something really interesting in there, something that I really like connect with in that series.
Yeah. That's rad.
Yeah. Did you have any Green Lantern stuff other than those?
I don't really. I don't know that many. I mean, so
you really like Earth 1.
Yeah, Earth 1, obviously, but I mean, I can't all 3 be Earth 1.
Well, yes, no, obviously not.
Yeah, I haven't gotten enough. I definitely am interested, but also like there's so much, and I feel like you have to really have a lot of backstory.
That's fair. I'm really enjoying the Grant Morrison run right now on the Green Lantern. And
is it like, super Morrison-y? Like,
I mean, it is and it isn't. Like, we're going through the multiverse. We're like, there was one issue where it was like an entire world that lived and died inside the ring, depending on how much charge was in like the ring.
Which I love that. That's a great idea.
It is so it's Morrison-y in that it's dealing with all this stuff, but it's not like Event Morrison.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
But that's what I like more. I like more of like conceptual Morrison.
It makes me think more of like his Animal Man or something.
Yeah, like which is like, I mean, that's some of his best stuff, right?
And Liam Sharp's artwork is outstanding in that series. It's really something.
That's probably a run I would probably look at. No?
Yeah. I think you'd like it, actually.
For sure.
You can borrow it.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's go to the last question.
Sure.
Comes from Braden, who asks, have the Justice League never considered just throwing some of their most dangerous villains, Joker, Vandal Savage, Darkseid, into the Phantom Zone? Wouldn't that make more sense? I know people like Zod have escaped the zone, but as prisoners goes, wouldn't it be the most escape-proof?
I mean, Yes. The Phantom Zone has been used to hold Kryptonians, to hold Doomsday, to keep Mon-El safe from his lead poisoning.
Yeah.
It's been used for lots of stuff.
Yeah.
And you're right. Like, why don't you just throw them into this other dimension where they can't hurt anybody anymore? Easier said than done, A. But I think part of it is that, first of all, the Phantom Zone projector is a piece of technology too dangerous to be allowed in the care or possession of anyone other than Superman, basically.
Yeah.
Which means then that the use of it falls to Superman, which means he becomes judge and jury.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the problem comes in, is that it's so, like, extrajudicial in terms of a punishment.
And Batman would never want to, like, bring somebody to Superman to have them deal with it. Like,
I mean, Batman may consider it, but I don't think Superman would go for it. I think Superman has...
Like, they're not dangerous enough? Or
I think he's got a problem with... Like, he's used it, and maybe he uses it on Kryptonians because he knows it's a Kryptonian prison. As well, like, Kryptonians also used it, but to start just throwing people in there, like... I think it bothers him that, like, he would have to be the one making the call. It's all on him.
Well, yeah, and it's not like...
And then he becomes the tyrant, kind of, right? Which he doesn't want to.
And I think that it's not really, like, a prison that's, like, run. So
yes, that's the other thing, too. Yeah, that's true. It's like you're just putting a bunch of people loose in another dimension.
Which I don't think, I feel like it's not as justice-minded as Superman would be.
Well, yes, yeah, precisely. There's no aspect of rehabilitation or restitution.
That being said, I would love to read a story where Joker gets put into the Phantom Zone.
Where he's gone too far. But instead of getting injustice where Superman snaps, the snapping is just that they throw him in the Phantom Zone and they're done with him. And maybe the world moves on.
But that's also
without Joker.
I want to read what happens to him in there. Like, like, how does he try to, like, take control and, like...
I think the other half of this is that there's a different example that isn't the Phantom Zone, but it's Salvation Run, which is a series where basically the Suicide Squad was capturing villains and they were using a boom tube to transport them to a different planet. And they were just going to leave them on the planet. And ultimately what happened is you left them loose on a planet. They organized, they built technology and came back, and they managed to capture Martian Manhunter in the process.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't go well. And then I think there was also a story at some point where they discovered that there were beings that were native to the Phantom Zone.
Oh.
That did not appreciate that their place was being used to, like...
Understandably, yeah.
Like, that it was being used as Australia. Like, don't dump your riffraff here.
Yeah.
Sorry, Australia. You know who you are.
Yeah.
But so there was a thing with that too. So if Superman is aware of that, then that would also be a conscious thing where it's like, that's an absolute last resort. Like, there just aren't enough or reliable enough prisons for Kryptonians on Earth, basically. So yeah, maybe he makes an exception there, but I think he's also aware that, like, he is doing a disservice to the innocent beings of the Phantom Zone by sending all of the worst criminals in the galaxy there. So I think it's a moral objection more than, like, anything practical or anything like that.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Because Superman wouldn't even say, like, we'll let the courts decide, because then that means that he has to turn the Phantom Zone projector over to just a government. And I think he knows he can't trust them to deal with it responsibly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That's it for the questions this week, which means you know what time it is.
I sure do.
I'm 100% prepared.
Yes.
Are you prepared?
I am prepared.
I'm prepared. I'm gonna come.
No more come, man.
All right, well, let's hear what you've got then.
Okay.
Also explain what...
Oh, sure, yeah, sorry. So we talked about it a little bit, actually, to answer this question. But
this is
Dial H for Hero
dial doc,
was a thing where this H dialer, if you dial Hero, you turn into a never-before-seen hero or sometimes villain with unique powers and a silly name. And it used to be a series where readers could write in and get, like, a silly idea sort of in a couple of pages. But now, every episode, we try to come up with our own. We call them the Dial Docs, and mine for this week is called Cringeworthy.
Oh.
And basically cringeworthy takes the form of like a sort of like televangelist, but instead of healing people, he basically makes them relive their worst shame. Like, you know, when they do the thing where it's like, and you're healed, and they like put their hand on you. If cringeworthy puts his hand on you, you relive your worst shame, and it like incapacitates you. Like you're almost trapped in like a full like hallucination of that moment kind of thing. So it's like a sort of psychic psionic power. But yeah, it's like the moments where you did something horrible and you know it, so like you actually feel shame and stuff about it. But that's cringeworthy.
Oh, that's good. I like that one. Mine is called Quasi.
Okay,
and it has they have the ability to turn into any inanimate objects, but not completely because there's.
Like a table with a human head on it.
Yeah. So it's constantly having to like,
that's
almost get there, but like,
right.
People, it's like one of those things where like, is that a lamp? Wait, what the fuck? There's a head out there.
Just an arm sticking. Yeah. Quasi.
That's Quasi.
I really like that. That's very funny. That's a perfect sort of Dial H character. That's.
We would love to hear what type of characters you guys can come up with. All you have to do is use the hashtag DialDoc and send us your idea for a hero or a villain or a question for our next episode. I don't know when this one's coming up. Do you have any idea?
This one is coming out partway through September.
Yes.
Next week's episode is another one that we pre-recorded. And the week after that is sort of like a special little surprise that we won't quite reveal yet, but you'll see on social media when we ask for questions. I just want to confirm certain things, but I think you'll like it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, you guys have no idea.
Yeah, it's going to be dope.
Oh, my God.
It's going to be dope as
hell.
hell.
Holy shit. Forgot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we don't have any questions for you for that, but
just send questions generally.
Yeah, because we do these episodes.
We do these episodes. If it applies to a theme, when the theme comes up, I'll just throw it in with
it. Also
them.
helps us create themes because sometimes it applies to a theme that we haven't done yet.
Absolutely. So yeah, never hesitate to send your questions.
Absolutely. So you can do those through our various social media platforms, such as you can reach out to us on our Facebook,
Dr. DC Podcast,
our Twitter,
at Dr. DC,
Instagram,
Dr. DC Podcast,
email,
drdcpodcast@gmail.com,
and of course our subreddit,
r/Dr_DC.
And of course the doc phone is now open. All you have to do is call us at
208-917-3238.
That's 208-917-DCEU. And of course, you can read some DC specific articles or buy our merch. Buy our merch on our website,
drdcpodcast.com or .ca.
And of course, we love those reviews, baby.
Keep them coming.
Yeah.
5-star reviews on iTunes. Can you review on Stitcher? If you can, do it.
Yeah.
Review wherever you can. If you're one of those people that like at work, you just like put like something up in the background, you can also like either stream from our website or on YouTube. Like our stuff is all over the place. So if you review wherever you can, and when we get to 52 reviews, Richard and I are both going to get DC Comics tattoos.
That's right. If you work at Starbucks and someone gives you their name, don't write their name. Instead, write a 5-star review for Dr. DC.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, if someone is like, if there's like a truck driver and he's trying to back up, and you're sort of waving him in, make sure that like in his mirror he sees a 5-star review.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. If you're a health inspector, review the next restaurant D for Dr. DC.
Yeah, and then shut them down.
Yeah, I'm going to put a 5-star review underneath explaining why.
Yeah, exactly. Just go to Yelp and just write reviews of other businesses that are really 5-star reviews of the Dr. DC podcast.
Ooh, yeah, or find ways to turn it back into a 5-star review.
Yeah.
Or Amazon reviews. I'm okay with that too. Sort of like this vibrator didn't insert into me the way I wanted to, but you know what
Dr. DC did.
Really got inside of me.
The podcast, I mean.
Yeah. And of course, we've got a Patreon.
Yeah, patreon.com
$5 a month.
Dr. DC. $5 a month, you get a full bonus episode every single week.
That's right.
It's totally worth it. There's all sorts of cool stuff up there. Lots of DC stuff, some Marvel stuff. We talk about books, games,
movies.
TV, movies. music,
commentary tracks.
Canada.
That's right.
We talk about all sorts of stuff. There are commentary tracks. Give it a listen. Check it out.
All right. That's it for this week. We will talk to you hopefully Friday, if not.
That's right.
Next Wednesday.
Adios.
Ciao. Baby.
All the superheroes, they always fight for what is right. Live with danger and adventure, they are men of might.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.